Welcome everybody, my name is Lawo, and today I'm presenting our late-breaking work on digital sovereignty, what it is and why it matters for HCI, on behalf of my colleagues from the Verbraucherinformatik Research Group. There is a tech war going on, a tech war on digital sovereignty touching everyone, even those who do not have a mobile phone or have never used an online service. Strong actors such as state and monopolistic companies are threatening the digital sovereignty of individual humans and their societies. So far, the policy discourse is only slowly adopted and discussed in computer science, especially HCI discourses. We are not acting as we should do to protect the humans at the heart of our community, our users. Thus, this late-breaking work aims to introduce the discourse by asking, what is digital sovereignty? Why is digital sovereignty important to the HCI community? And what should we do in face of political ambitions to strengthen a human-centered agenda? But first of all, what is the policy discourse about? The idea of digital sovereignty is based on the idea of governmental sovereignty over a clearly defined territory. In the digital sphere, there is no such clearly defined territory, even if some states are trying to establish partly closed networks. Digital sovereignty is challenged by various actors, supranational actors, economic actors, individual actors, fighting each other based on different ideological arguments, for example, cyber exceptionalism or ideas of multi-stakeholder governance. Individuals are clearly the weakest group, claiming sovereignty for their own. Thus, technological and policy measures are often not considering this group. As said earlier, the discourse is slowly taken up in HCI. Thus, we reviewed all papers found under the search term digital sovereignty within the HCM digital library. Only 10 or 40 papers are coming from our community, with a growing number from year to year. Within those papers, we found no clear definition of what we as designers and researchers understand as being a digital sovereign user. But we found four main narratives: sovereignty over data, sovereignty over software, sovereignty over hardware and infrastructures, and sovereignty over and based on literacy and information. To initiate a broader discussion, we picked up the narratives and came up with our own definition of human-centered digital sovereignty. Based on this low number of papers, one might ask the question, why does it matter? Individuals and whole societies are affected by a loss of control, access, and literacy over the digital sphere. They become dependent on other states and companies. For example, with the tribalization of the internet, surveillance capitalism, digital colonialism, or systems like social scoring. We as a community can do our best by sharing best practices and knowledge, engaging in the policy discourse and informing policymakers, or researching on, around, under, and with digital sovereignty to empower our users. Thank you for your attention, and we are looking forward to see you at our poster.